In this video, I want to show you how to make this alcohol ink art. I am using a mixative white along with various colors, and then the black Nara paper has blue masking tape around the edge. And I'll also use a Revlon brush dryer. Throughout this video, I will be mentioning techniques that I'm doing, but also speeding up through it. So be sure to watch throughout as I cover various techniques. I put down the white mixative first, and then the alcohol ink right on top. If you were to do just the alcohol ink directly on the black paper, you would not be able to see it because it's clear. So you need something white underneath to be able to see the color of the alcohol ink. And then I add more white and the color as necessary to create the image. Now with my dryer, I take the dryer and kind of guide the alcohol where it's going. And if it looks like it doesn't want to move, I do add some more alcohol to, in a sense, create a path where the alcohol ink is going to go. For the alcohol, I use a bottle that has almost a syringe-sized opening. That way I can guide exactly where the alcohol is going to go, instead of using a large pipette or dropping it. So you can see it's a syringe area that the alcohol comes in, and I can guide it exactly. For the dryer, I use the dryer fairly close to the paper. I don't want to be too far because obviously you wouldn't get the pressure, but then if you're too close, you don't have as much control over it. So I'm probably about an inch, a couple of inches away from the paper, and sometimes I hold it straight up and down depending on where I want to guide the ink. Other times I have it more of at an angle, almost like 30-degree angle, to make sure that I'm guiding the ink in the direction that I want it to go. The alcohol helps the ink move, so if it looks like your ink is not really going anywhere and it's kind of drying out, you can add a little more alcohol, and that will also create some of that wispy effect that you see in some of the artwork. If as you're spreading the ink, it looks like you don't see the color anymore, that's because you don't have any more of the mixative underneath it. So you do want to make sure that you have the white. Now if you're working on white paper, that would be different because you would be able to see the color without the white mixative since you have white paper underneath it. But for black paper, you do need some white underneath to bring out the color. Initially, when you start blowing the colors, once you add the color on top of the white mixative, you're more just mixing the color a little bit into the mixative versus immediately trying to create a shape. So you move the ink a little bit within the mixative and then start directing the shape using the alcohol. And for this project, I did use 91% alcohol. If any of the alcohol strays really far away from where you want it, let's say as you're placing down the alcohol ink or the mixative and you're using the dryer and a little bit blows off into the distance, off from your project, then you can use some alcohol, straight alcohol, to clean it off, since whether you're using the Nara paper or Yupo paper, it's a synthetic paper, not really paper, and you can wipe it off. Once you are done with the alcohol ink, you can use Posca pens, markers really, to add accents to your piece. And this set does come in various colors. You can buy just individual colors. I do have links below for all the various supplies that I used for this project, so check the description box below for that. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please click on that subscribe button so you get notifications of upcoming videos and projects. And with the Posca pen, I just kind of outline the petals, what I want them to be. Maybe you can want to create the center accent. If it's not a flower and you have just a beautiful background, you can use those Posca pens to create some doodles on it and make some really unique pieces. The one thing that I love about alcohol inks is that every piece is going to be unique. You cannot recreate the same piece no matter how much you try. It just won't be the same. There will be some variation to it. Even if you try and recreate this, it's gonna be different. But I just wanted to show you the technique that I use to create this. The Posca pen that you use does take a little bit of time to dry, so just be careful that you don't smudge any of the work that you've done. And this is applied once your alcohol ink is completely dry, so don't try and do it beforehand. I do have some additional videos with alcohol ink projects, so be sure to check those out as well. There is a link at the end of this video, but you can check the channel for additional videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please comment below. Don't forget to join my Facebook group and share your own projects. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.